Greetings, citizens from the rolling hills of the bluegrass. There's a question, or a kind of a little, I guess, vignette or skit or something that I've wanted to pose to the leftists out there, and even some of the rightists, who might be listening, can maybe put this question out further afield and get an idea and a feel from them. But the scenario goes down like this. Something happens, and the normal course of government is disrupted, and it goes back to the old Roman idea of having two consuls. Right, technically, that's how, at one point in the U.S. Constitution's life, the president and the vice president were almost supposed to be kind of at odds with one another. That's the reason why the vice president has the power that he has, and why he's in the position that he is as the president of the Senate, with the ability to break ties, is because your running mate, your vice president, was supposed to come from the other side. It's the person who got second place. But now the presidency and the vice presidency are, run on the same ticket, and therefore another path of power is consolidated, which is the whole point of the federal government, is to consolidate power and yoke it from others. But the idea is this. Something happens, and we end up with that vice president situation. Two different sides of the coin, or two different parties, sorry. And they both come together. And I sit down with the vice president before or just after the inauguration. I sit down and I look at him and I say, if you will work with me, I will give you every single social program that your side of the board wants. I will give you everything. Absolutely everything. But it all has to be voluntary. You cannot force any American to partake or to take from those programs. I will give you every social program, but they have to be voluntary. And the moment that someone tries to make them compulsory, all of it goes away. And the question to the leftists are, would you take that deal? You get everything you want, but you can't make people be a part of it. Would you take that deal? And the two answers that I've come up with are yes, I'll take that deal, and no. And the no is so much more telling than the yes, because it shows you really what the point is. The social programs are not meant as a good for society. They're meant as a power grab. Because I'm giving you everything you want, everything you talk about, everything that's in your campaign speeches. I am giving you all of it without a fight. And I've got my party with me, and we're going to agree to it, and we will sit down and sign it today. But you can't make people be a part of it. So it's force. 100% force for the people who say no. And sure, they can say, oh, but then who's going to fund it? Well, it's going to be voluntary. How are we going to make it work? Well, it'll be voluntary. Corporations, individual people, they can give as they wish. We'll put it in the tax line. How much money would you like to donate to each of these programs? And they can put in the amount, and that's the amount that goes in. But a leftist, and in certain degrees, on certain instances, rightists, Republicans, Democrats, if we want to be specific, but I'm trying to be a little more broad, they're going to say no. And I think that tells a lot right there. That tells you exactly their motivation, the why. They want power. And again, what is power? Resources plus influence. And they want the influence over you. But what they want is, if you don't agree, they at least want your money so that they can influence other people. Because they may not be able to sway you, they're not going to get your vote, but at least they can get their money and buy votes through social programs, and that way they gain power. That's a good question, I think. I think it's a good question. I don't know how far afield this will get flung, but I like it. So take it. Go ask people. Would you take the deal? And don't be surprised when they say no.